G2.iG, and it is mine and T-Governor's pleasure to walk you through the action of this one. So what are we expecting in terms of timings? Because I feel like earlier on with the drafts as they were going, it did kind of feel like IG were going to want to play this maybe a bit faster than that of OG. Is that the case here?
I think both teams have the ability to set a little pace because one team has like the tiny AA ench to be able to make moves, and then the other side, OG, it's like they can play on the towers, right? Like DK can move to the tower at level 6, he can play on the hoodwink, and Primal is such an active hero as well, right? So I do feel that, yeah, like I said, both teams have that ability, and
30 seconds to battle.
We'll see what they do. I think for IG it's more about the kills, and for OG it's more about setting up the lanes to then hit the towers to then for the kills to come in. And yes, we have lost Owen for a second. He's just fixing some stuff real quick. But yeah.
Yeah, it should be all good. I'm
there
back
we go.
in now. Right, so, I mean, first blood as well. Who's got to be the most careful? I'm watching Monet down here. I mean, do they want to try and go for this? They will. They'll go with the bushwhack. Into the shackles. See, Monet. He is going to skill the rage. And with that should be all right. Bushwhack's going to be there again in another second if Ari wants to throw out another, but they'll leave him be. They're just going to shake him up a bit on the chase underneath his tower. We'll see how this sort of setup goes. I mean, with the way that we've got the side lanes set up, I mean, they'll head up towards the top lane here. Seb. Now, who's going to have the tougher time? You know, would you rather be the Naga Siren with these lane setups, or would you rather be the Lifestealer?
I think he would rather be the Naga Siren. It's like the Naga Siren in difficult matchups, you can always like poke towards the jungle. Like even if the lane gets a bit difficult, there's always that road to I know how to get back into the game. For a Lifestealer though, if you have a bad lane, your catch-up is very miserable, right? Like you're awkwardly clicking on some small camp, some hard camp. It doesn't feel good. And yeah, I think of course Baboka and JT are going to need some levels to be able to actually apply some pressure to this Naga Siren. And this is potentially the most boring mid lane we could ever look at in our lives, the DK versus Tiny. I think the only way that DK dies is if Tiny gets like a beautiful toss back with like 3 or 4 tower hits going. Like this should just be the most trader farm that you ever see from a mid lane matchup. And yeah. Okay, and yeah. In top lane, we have Seb. He has gone for the Shackles level 1. That is a change-up from, I don't know a change-up, but I think the last time that people may have really cared about Shaman all those years ago, it was all about like the Ether Shock, but now that you have the Hill applied to your Shackles, it just makes you even tankier in the lane. They have the level 2 advantage, and they are killing off Baboka, whilst Ari also in the bot lane gets the kill. We can blame Seb for that one because he was killing top lane, but yeah. In bottom, you never want to step up against Hoodwink. Like at any minute, there's just going to be this Acorn shot, tree gets created, bushwhack, and you are just going to get punished here. And yeah, the AA, he is the one that does step up too far. The advantage of Lifestealer, of course, he is a hero that thrives at just sitting in front of his tower. He wants to just exist, push out the lane, farm the jungle just to the north of his lane, and return. Like he is one of the, I say the best, but for a non-illusion hero, he's one of the best heroes at just protecting his safe lane. Because if they come to gank him, he just survives for so long. He like elongates the fight, he drags it out, and then allows for TPs to come in to do the damage that he's lacking. Of course though, AA doesn't have any of that. X-Nova, he's gonna respect his positioning a couple more times. He doesn't want to give too many kills away to the Primal Beast or Hoodwink, because these are heroes that can simply take over the game. And you see from this CS already, all of OG's cores sitting in the double digits, whilst the Lifestealer and Magnus are a little bit further down. We have the Lotus contest in the top lane, and hopefully Owen will return soon, but until then, you're going to have to hear my beautiful, ugly voice the entire time. You can pick which one between A or B. And yeah, so Lotus goes the way for Tomato, and in the bot lane, Lotus goes the way of Ari. So yeah, OG getting both of the Lotuses at 3 minutes, which should give them a little bit more confidence in maybe going for that next kill. Again, to remind you, the game plan of G2.iG will be kind of push out your lanes, get to that first cheap item, and then look to make those moves, right? Like, it's the combination of AA and Tiny. If AA and Tiny aren't together, their damage is going to be lacking. Lifestealer, he doesn't leave lane with the desire to fight. And X-Nova, he might be leaving lane himself as he goes back to base. That is his second death now in the laning phase, and yeah, struggling just a little bit. I would argue that G2.iG, any of these early deaths is just going to really amplify their inability to make moves as they exit the laning phase. If AA is starved of levels, he's going to be missing out on his Ice Blast levels. If Tiny doesn't have heroes to play on, then naturally he does lack damage. We are yet to really see where BZM's going with his itemization. He doesn't like to queue up all of his items for us to have free information, unlucky. But this is the type of game where magic damage will be G2.iG's kind of early style of damage, and of course one Shroud or Mage Slayer, anything like this should be able to mitigate the recovery plan, at least from G2.iG.
Okay, hello T.
Hello mate, you back?
Hey, sorry about that. I think we had some tech issues, but I think it's all fixed now. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, so we should all be good to go. What did I miss, T? Looks like OG's getting some nice early kills going on here.
Yeah, pretty much. It was X-Nova's died a couple of times in the bot lane, and other than that, it's just been a lot of farming efficiencies, pushing out lanes, and nothing too crazy has occurred, really. Did you actually need me to give you the full update, or is...
Oh, I actually did. We were trying to fix something, so I appreciate that.
Right, no worries.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this is...
making the first move.
Let's see what he can do here. He's going in under the tower. Then they go with a trample onto Monet. Good control. He gets the rage off, but it's all too late. Monet goes down. They might be able to chase on for X-Nova as well. Ari, he's got enough with that Mango being passed over. I think it was from Whisper making sure that the mana would be there for that bushwhack. He lays it down onto X-Nova. Under the tower they go. Double kill for Ari. OG just continuing to sweep up kills in this laning stage.
Yeah, it's... Do we at what point do we say it's potentially looking quite disastrous of a laning phase, right? Or laning stage, sorry. 2,000 gold lead already for OG. The kills are going the way of the heroes that want to make the moves on that. And we'll see how G2.iG wants to recover a little bit. But nothing to say. He's gonna have to try and make some type of statement in the game if that is to occur. And it doesn't even look like he's having too great of a game himself, right? Like 29 CS, 5 denies, to the 39 CS and 7 of the Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
All 3 lanes just pulling ahead now for OG.
BZM's having a great time here. I mean, even little things like getting that illusion rune just a second before nothing to say was able to grab it. It means he's able to put some extra little bit of pressure on. Looks like they will get their first kill here at G2.iG as Seb is caught out in the river. X-Nova able to take him out. So finally getting themselves on the board here.
This is kind of what you need to do if you're G2.iG, right? Like, you need to leave your lanes, throw the A and the Ench around the map, try and pair up with the Mag or the Tiny. I'm not really expecting the crazy kills from them on cores, but like, if you see some support making that move, you might get that quick pick. But you need to leave Lifestealer by himself, let him recover his levels, make sure you secure wisdom rooms where, 15 seconds late, that could have potentially been sniped, but of course, they killed Shaman. In the top side of the river, they saw Ari mid, so unless Tomato was going there, then it was a free wisdom room, but yeah, I'm looking to see how the supports on G2.iG want to kind of play the map now. Make stacks potentially for the Mag or the Tiny, find kills, but they need to do something because this is looking pretty rough, and they're going onto the DK now.
They're going to try. There's a quick Dragon Tail for BZM to try and put a stop to the follow-up combo, and Seb, Ari, they're there with the backup, so super hard for IG themselves to get anything going here. BZM, a very hard target to tackle. If anything, Nothing Stay's got to be careful. He's going to get clipped by the bushwhack. Whisper comes crashing across. They take down the Tiny. They're ready for more. Shackles over onto the side onto Baboka. Baboka turns towards Seb. Seb will fall, but it's going to be at the cost of 3 of the heroes on G2.iG as OG bring the numbers to the mid. And already at this early point of the game, you could just feel it. The G2.iG, they just don't have the tools to tackle these heroes from OG. OG can just come barreling towards them, and G2.iG can't deal with it right now.
Yeah, it's the repercussion of not kind of pulling ahead in laning phase. I didn't really have crazy expectations of them having stronger lanes, but the fact that they've lost the lanes in this capacity, and OG aren't afraid to bring heroes to these early moves as well, it's like, what is their move? Like, what does G2.iG do? Because Whisper, he goes from mid, he comes back to bottom, he puts Monet to low HP, he forces multiple TPs out, and now both of the supports are now bottom. Like, the support duo on Radiant are just really struggling to kind of know what they're meant to be doing here. They ran top and found a Shaman, they died mid, they TP'd bottom. Like, the last 3 moves that we've seen on the map from them have been extremely kind of empty moves in regards to stopping OG from hitting their stride. And now BZM's walking bottom.
Oh, he is. I mean, by the looks of it, OG, they know that from the pressure play earlier, G2.iG were forced down here, and they're happy to take those fights. Anywhere that G2.iG go right now, OG will be sure to follow, because they know that they can just continue to keep picking up these kills. You know, the only one right now really from G2.iG that's having that solid game is JT. He's getting the farm up top. Going to be going for that tread straight into the Blink dagger. They've got to hope as a team that he's able to get a lot done when that Blink's online. In the mid lane, nothing to say, was trying to get some pressure onto the tower, but he steps up too far. It's an easy setup for BZM into 7 to Ari. Another kill here for BZM. As this Dragon Knight, it's just going to be ridiculous how fun BZM's going to get this pace. Blink dagger already done, on the way to the Mage Slayer. This is as hot of a start as BZM could have hoped for.
Yeah, it's perfect. And Tiny, he had an observer ward at mid, but it was on the top side of the river, so he wasn't able to see that kind of rotation from the Shaman and the DK. But I just feel, yeah, the way that OG are playing the map right now, it's they walk to the engagement, and then they have the TP available to pressure elsewhere. Whilst G2.iG, they're TPing to the engagement, so if it doesn't go well, they're either lost in the wrong part of the map, or they're having to walk back across, you know, their tail between their legs, and that disparity alone is just giving OG these advantages. And we've not had to talk about Tomato at all, but he's having one of the freest games on Naga Siren that you could ever ask for.
Look at this, BZM's just very close to being able to take down Maboka solo there. Pushes them all the way back, they get some good damage onto the tower. Nothing to say, it is going to TP in. See if he can do anything about this. Further TPs to follow here from G2.iG. They're trying to hold on to this tier 1 tower, but it's incredibly low. I think it's going to go down regardless. They've got the fortification, but can they actually set up an aggressive play here, G2.iG? I don't think they can. Nothing to say, Nova just sitting back, having to watch the tower fall. As OG, they take the tower, and they're just not getting punished whatsoever for these moves. Bottom lane, Monet trying to make the most of the little bit of space that he's been given, but it's not for long. Whisper's back down here. It's Monet. And he's feeling pretty safe close to the tower. They've got the smoke play coming in as well to try and connect to him down on the bottom lane. Maybe anticipating that OG may go for.
And they have the level 6 there.
It's going to be a fair bit of burst. The Ice Blast connecting, it should be enough. Whisper, nowhere to run. Good solid move there from G2.iG, and getting Monet the kill as well, absolutely required. They need to set this Lifestealer up for success. And in the mid-step,
the Tomato's here.
He has indeed got the backup of Tomato. Tomato now ready to start joining the action himself. And we'll be able to get that pick off. So Tomato ready to start playing active. Treads and Yasha, that's all he needs to be able to start swarming. G2.iG's half of the map now, really keep the pressure on these lanes, clean up the creeps, and also get involved with what's some pretty good setup. You know, OG's lineup, they've got so many different ways of starting the fight, so many ways of initiating.
Yeah, they're stealing the stacks as well. So the recovery plan, get it taken away for G2.iG. Magnus, he went for the 4 points in Empower. He's going for the farm game rather than the fight. We sometimes see Shockwave and Skewer as an option. I think for JT though, he is going to need to find himself some time to go to his Lifestealer, to put that Empower on him, because that will just help bring him back into the game just a little bit quicker to try and match that Naga Siren. You know, CS-wise, Lifestealer, he's doing relatively well, right? Like, he's only 8 CS down on the Naga Siren, but of course, he is farming probably a couple more small camps than the Naga has, and he's only 400 gold down. So, impressive farm so far from Monet. But yeah, an Empower would simplify that even more. And they are smoked up. They found the DK.
And with the Ice Blast, it's solid burst. It's going to be enough. They bring him down. Nothing to say, gets the kill. I mean, they've got to keep using this combo. This is what will do it. Any sort of setup into the full combo from X-Nova. As we can see, if it's taken down BZM, it will take down any of OG's heroes. So G2.iG, they've got to keep looking for opportunities to drop this. In the mid, though, nothing to say. Steps up once again, and he hasn't got the backup of his team. They'll get the setup upon him. Bushwhack back onto the tree. Nothing to say. Taken down in a very similar spot once more. He's got to be a bit more careful when he goes for pressuring that tower.
Yeah, I'm not going to try and sugarcoat this. I have no idea what Nothing to Say is doing right now in the mid lane.
He really wants that tier 1 tower, T.
He's died twice for it, and I think the rest of his team are making some exceptional kind of recovery plays, right? Like utilizing X-Nova beautifully, dragging him around the map. Whisper is chasing down Monet. Of course, he can't rage because the pulverize.
He's going to give him a little bit of a work for it. Is he able to get over for an infest? He is. And nice little stun onto Whisper, but he's not getting very far. Ari's there with the acorn shot into the bushwhack. And with Rage and Infest on cooldown, no further escape mechanisms for Monet. OG get the kill.
Is under attack.
Yeah, I think for Nothing to Say though, 300 gold, he'll get that Blink Dagger. And look at JT and X-Nova. They know the only play they have available is the AA kill combination. Like, during the draft, this was the thing I was praising. Everything else was kind of like, it's a bit of fun, bit of this, bit of that. But this is the combination. They need to try and find, ideally, one Naga kill. Even killing DK again will be great, but Nothing to Say. He starts hitting the tower again. And
there's something about these towers. He really wants them Nothing to Say, but it's costing him his life each and every time. Dead again this time. He switched it up. He went for the top one. Doesn't end up going any better for him. He's dead. Tomato's also able to find X-Nova onto the side. It will manage to throw out an Ice Blast, but at the same time, JT's been completely cornered, surrounded by the wards from Seb. 3 kills for OG to be picked up. As, once again, I mean, they probably want to be looking for kills right with this Tiny. We've seen how much the AA combo can do. I want to see some more coordinated plays around Nothing to Say, because right now, this whole sort of split up and push, it's not working for them, T.
Yeah, I think the first tower death you can accept, right? Like, sure, it happens. He was testing the limits. They know that they're going to react. You died. But the second and third one have been incredibly illegal. Like,
that's rough,
he respawns, beelines it to top tower with his tree, slaps the tower and dies. It's like DK's rushed a Blink Dagger. He's got the item that you wish you had. You're 300 gold away from it. Sit back, take a breath, farm some medium camp or whatever, get that Blink Dagger, and then go make a play with the team. And because of these deaths now, it really has just kind of ruined his own game. And this DK that we've been praising, he's got the Mage Slayer now. So sure, there is this big magic burst combo that G2.iG are leaning on right now. And yeah, DK will probably still die if there are multiple heroes going on him. But the time taken will just open up the rest of the fight for this 2000 HP Blade Mail Primal to rip through, or for Naga Siren to join after 8 or 9 seconds of DK eventually dying. And there is a little bit of a window missed for pickoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if OG just group up together now, like they're doing in the bot lane, and just hold each other's hands. Don't allow for these pickoffs to occur and prevent Tiny from recovering a game that he himself kind of threw away a little bit. No, not a little bit, a lot. Yeah, again, no sugarcoating.
There we go. Tier 2's gone on the bottom lane. This time, pretty much the whole gang up top. G2.iG will get that tier 1 tower. Of course, OG continue to take more than their opponents here in this game so far. 16 minutes in, 16-4, 8k lead here for OG right now.
JT has the Blink Dagger.
We're going to see OG start to look to take this fight top. They're on their way over. They know that G2.iG's been hunting for some action. G2.iG now starting to back off. Whisper, a bit separate from the rest of his squad, but they won't catch eyes of one another. They're still hanging around.
The minimap. Yeah, this minimap is so scary right now. Like, G2.iG are positioned to look for a fight, but Shaman was in the enemy triangle. Primal just nearly bumped into them as well. Like, OG are kind of skirting around the edges of G2.iG's position. At any minute, they could just get picked off, but none of them were seen. And now they go back to just pressuring the map. Seb throws down the wards mid. You had Illusions pushing out bot. Like, the entire, 4 heroes, of G2.iG are just parked up in this jungle, watching the farm, hoping something will happen, and nothing's happening.
Yeah, JT really wants to make work of this blink, but OG's not giving it to them. Just playing perfectly spaced out, splitting up, getting much more than G2.iG is able to get with each passing minute, with how condensed G2.iG's formation is at this portion of the game. They really need to find something at the moment. Yeah, resting everything on the fact that if Monet gets farm, he may be able to carry them. But it doesn't look great in the overall picture because OG, on the other hand, they've got these 3 cores farming fantastically.
Now they retreat from the triangle. I say the top side of the jungle and back to a new location to watch Lifestealer farm. And BZM, he's...
Well, BZM? This should be a solid shot at getting a kill. They've got the blast passing over. That'll do it. That's what they needed. The question is, can they get away with this? They were quick infest into JT. He was able to blink away. But they'll leave behind both X-Nova and Nothing to Say. So once BZM may have been taken out, it will cost them the 2 of their own lives. And again, just continuing to hold back the game and Nothing to Say. JT's thinking about going back in. He's got the grab on Tomato. RP, can he get the song off in time, Tomato? Even if he needs to, he can't. They'll get him. They're able to kill Tomato off. So all things said and done, with that extra grab at the end of it, G2.iG, they will take that. They get BZM, they get Tomato, they get the big 2.
Oh, it was a weird one as well, right? Like the fact that they skewer to the tower, but then when he jumps out on the high ground, he has to like run around to get back to him. So a little bit sloppy there from G2.iG, but of course with the rage, 4 points in rage, he's able to prevent Naga from just popping that song. It wouldn't hit the Lifestealer, he'd still be able to right click the Naga down. But yeah, for Tomato, he gets picked off by a very defensive high ground ward, and for G2.iG, it's like that. Some things are working out for them, right? Like they can kill the DK with 4 heroes. They can kill the Naga Siren if she's fully by herself. Lifestealer with rage is pretty good. Now they go fishing again. JT, he gets another kill.
Oh, he does. Here we go. JT, he's very much recovering the game here. A key part in getting that bonus kill on Tomato earlier, and now setting up even more for Monet, teaming up with him. JT can keep this up. They might be able to start to really make a dent in this lead that OG's had against them.
I think there's been
He's got a bit of follow-up coming into play, Ari. Not the ATOS, but the illusion rune's there from Nothing to Say, and he's out. Back up to the high ground. He's away. Tomato still very much on the front lines, looking to see if he can set something up for the team. Very aggressive moves here. He's feeling strong. He has got the whole team smoked up behind him pretty much. Seb, Ari, and Whisper ready to back up any sort of play that Tomato can begin.
And you know that G2.iG, they don't mind about the late game. They got Midas in the edge, but smoked up, they found Tiny.
Straight away they go. JT's in with the BKB. He's going to focus Seb, take him out towards the side, allows him to quickly dispatch of Seb. Ice Blast comes in onto Whisper. Monet's got the damage. The RP's there. Tomato's popped the song beforehand. Can he escape this? He's going to have to try and walk it away. And should be fine. Doesn't look like JT is going to be able to continue to chase. BZM's going to jump back in, but JT's ready to get the jump on him. Gets it onto BZM, drags him back under the tower. But Boca pummeling out the damage with the impetus. JT, with his RPs and skewers, continues to keep this game alive for G2.iG.
Already on the kind of... He's looking to vie for the MVP category, right? Like,
he is
doing everything.
I think he's already got it. I mean, it's these Magnus plays, without them, G2.iG would be getting rolled over right now. JT really recovering the game. I mean, to the point now where the lead, it's only a 1k gold lead. A couple more fights like that, and Monet is going to be absolutely set up for success. And when you look at the farm of the 2 carries right now, you're seeing them as sort of an even point. I think when it comes to Lifestealer and Naga Siren as a matchup, it doesn't feel great as the Naga Siren right to be at the same amount of farm as a Lifestealer 22 minutes into a game. You want to be ahead.
Yeah, especially because Monet, he's got that Sanj and Yasha now, so he's going to have that status resistance. He's going to be tankier. He is going for that straight BKB that we were talking about during the draft. Goes for the Mjolnir. He can throw the Mjolnir on himself. Those procs will deal with the illusions to some degree. And now he has so much debuff immunity that he can just walk through the fights. Only Pulverize will be an issue for him. And you got to say for OG a little bit, they are trying to continue this constant aggression style. Like, even after dying, look where they are on the map. They're already in the faces of G2.iG again. But JT, he has
trying
the BKB
for JT.
still.
He does. He's able to just turn onto Tomato, drag him back towards Baboka. When Tomato's he's going to continue to walk away, but there's going to be further jump potential. Another state's going to have blink up in a second. He's in, gets the avalanche out of the 2, and they kill off Seb. Tomato's got no song song for 20 seconds. Toss forward onto Monet. Monet's in on top of Tomato. Shockwave, it's going to be off the mark, but still they're going to have a solid shot of catching this Naga Siren, I believe. Tomato, 10 seconds until the song. Let's see if he's able to buy enough time. He's juking through the tree lines. The jukes are kind of working. They think he's up on the cliff. He's not. The jukes may save him here. JT, he's got Blink again in a second. He sees him. The silence is there, and the song is finally back up. Tomato. Oh my goodness, he had to juke it out long enough for the ult to come back into play, and he did. He gets out with a song and a goodbye.
That was like the most unnecessary forced juke that I've ever seen in my life. Like, OG, they just keep wanting to fight. They keep wanting to go. They blundered the top Tormentor fight, and after that, then Tomato instantly respawns, and he's now straight back at the tier 2 tower. And then, yeah, now G2.iG, because of all of this, they're looking to get the first Roshan of the game. I did not expect this to be occurring after how much of the map was being played. They don't have something to set up.
They're not going to be able to get there in time. There, Monet's got it. The Aegis is in the hands of the Life Stealer. And now the question is if OG really want to try and take this fight. Whisper's watching from the high ground. They look towards Monet. They'll set up with an Acorn shot tree, but Monet's able to react quickly with the rage. Whisper's come crashing into. He's put the blade down. Monet doesn't care. He rips through it, focusing down Whisper. Whisper's going to fall. They'll lose the 1-for-1. BZM's going to come in with a nice 3-man Dragon's Breath. Jump stun on towards X-Nova to burst the AA. Maybe OG can still come out on top of this fight. JT, he's out of luck, cornered here. As Monet, he'll have to rage TP out of this, but Boka's been left behind. OG, they make it work. They force the fight despite the Aegis pickup from Monet, and they pretty much get an effective team wipe. They kill off the 4 of them, they take the Aegis away from Monet as soon as he picks it up. I think that was a tough call for OG to make, but it pays off, T.
Yeah, it pays off because they forced G2.iG into the behind rush pit position, right? Like you all group up like that. Primal just gets on top of all 4 heroes. That isn't really a fight construct for Radiant to play into. Any AoE damage or spell is just going to obliterate all of your heroes there because you're just hugging each other. So for G2.iG, it's like, I love the fact they go for Roshan. Maybe in the split moment, if they were able to disengage potentially, reset with the Aegis, it would have been better. But of course, under the pressure of OG, they look to try and fight. They think they can blow up the Primal before he gets off his full combo, and they just weren't able to do it. And in doing so, yeah, OG back with a gold lead. These games, they are very back and forth for sure. But yeah, I think if anything,
this is wild.
What we got to take away from this is for OG, their fights are better when Primal is the instigator. When he can soak up that initiation, allow Tomato a little bit more vision to see the fight. But yeah, you see here from Whisper, the fact that he barrels through 4 heroes, everything's thrown onto them, they're clumped up, but Tomato, he disengages for a little bit, resets, waits, doesn't want to get caught by the RP, and then you got Seb throwing down some control, Ari throwing in the Acorn shots, like this constant poke, this whittling down of your opponent, surviving what could be quite a lot of bursts from G2.iG is how OG wants to take the fight. And of course, we've seen how they can blunder that type of fight, but when they execute on it, when they can force them into choke points, their draft is so hard to play into. So yeah, G2.iG, respect the Primal Beast, and OG utilize the Primal Beast. That's going to be the narrative of the upcoming fight. Do you see Primal Beast glowing as well? Like, obnoxiously yellow?
Oh, damn, we did. Wait, did we see it on the obs feed as well?
Yeah, can we click Primal Beast?
Check out the Primal, check out the Primal.
There we go.
Oh, we did. What's going on with him? It's this new Yeti, it's got the Yeti cosmetic, right?
Yeah, it's the Yeti shield combo.
Oh, it looks like he's been rolling in the wrong kind of snow tea.
No, he had to check for his team. You know, he is a team player after all.
This is the rare yellow snow Yeti. The true Arcana here for the Primal Beast. Beautiful stuff here. I mean, yeah, wow. I gotta buy that cosmetic now. I want to look as cool as this. Literally the shiniest cosmetic in the game. And it's... Dude, that's the thing as well. Oh, is it gone?
It's gone.
Oh.
I mean, it was a shield rune, so he needs the shield rune for it to work. So unfortunately, it's a...
But you look pretty baller with that shield rune.
Is it not like also kind of pay to lose because you become bright yellow?
It's yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess there's still the initial shock factor. My goodness, this Yeti looks fantastic.
What are you? Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, well, I think he has a shield rune. Do not hit him. Or if you do it with care because you're probably not going to kill him.
Okay, where did Lifestealer end up? Okay, so he's didn't opt to go for the BKB. He went for Satanic.
Okay.
Gives him another Dispel.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll be able to get rid of Bloodthorn.
Yeah, it gives him a...
I don't mind it, yeah. It's like the angle here is he probably will want BKB in this game, but does he want to buy it at 28 minutes when he knows he's not one Aegis away from ending the game? Or would he rather buy the Satanic, have a cheap Dispel, get rid of Bloodthorn, position better, and then buy BKB at, let's say, 40 minutes or 38 minutes, and then know that BKB will be full charges with an Aegis and then win the game, right? So that could be the reason why he's delayed it, just to make sure it is the most impactful BKB possible for the game that he's in. They're smoked up. Tomato is by himself right now, but no one's really hunting.
I might just go for the jump on mid. Whisper, of course, is the tank here at the target. All down to whether JT can feel he can get in with the grab. That skewer back. OG sitting safely back here on the mid, though. They're not going to throw their lives away for holding on to the tier 1. They'll let it fall. Monet able to take it.
Yep.
Pressure being put on, though, by these illusions from BZM. Tier 3 tower on the bottom, starting to take a bit of a beating.
Oh, this game's going to feel awful for G2.iG. Like, at this stage now, you have Naga with the Eternal Shroud, Manta-style illusions constantly running around. You've got DK with the Ags illusions. Like, waves are always going to be pushed in to the Radiant side of the base. Like, for them to make a move, you would expect OG to have at least 2 lanes of information to know where the smoke should be.
They're going to try and kick things off here. They've got the pulverize on towards Monet. Skewer from JT comes in nicely with the RP. Do they have the damage? They don't, because Tomato is able to put a stop to it all with the song. Allows time for OG to surround them. There's going to be a blink out just in time from JT. He's down to the low ground, but he will still die. Whisper's able to chase and finish him off. Nothing to say. He's been trapped in the Serpent wards. OG, they'll have a couple of casualties, but they'll take the fight. They take out the 3 of them, including the big one, taking down Monet.
You know how I gave you this like breakdown on like why he went Satanic, maybe, you know, better positioning, blah blah blah. Now he wishes he had a BKB, right? Like the double RP, if he could just get a little bit more of that community.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been like, wow, that's too dead. But of course, he went the Satanic route. It was like kind of like a 2v multiple hero OG engagement. We are going to see the replay here. Like, of course, I think, yeah, Primal would have died. And the fact that G2iG are late as well to join this engagement, I think we haven't really spoke about Baboka too much as OG step up the high ground, but Baboka, he is doing a lot of work in these fights as well. Like, he's got the Dragon Lance, he's got a Maelstrom, 4 points in Impedus. Like, he is some artillery on the backlines, and G2iG, they need to enable him. They can't just enable the Lifestealer from getting the right clicks off. They need to RP with the Ancient position, the Lifestealer in position, the A Tiny jumping in tandem. So a lot of things need to go right for G2iG, where OG it's like, high spawn illusions, yay! A click down lanes. Like, the game plan is like super complicated for G2iG to hit the spells, and for OG it's like probably the simplest form. The waves are always in a good spot. They always have the vision because of that, and they should in theory always have numbers advantage.
No. I mean, let's see if Baboka can carry this. You know, he's carried many a game before from the support position, and this build very much the oh no, my mid lost his lane support build that you see a lot in pubs as well. Happens. And see if it's going to be the right approach here from Baboka. As you say, if the sort of everything's laid out perfectly, he will be dealing out the damage, no doubt about it.
Xnova's still going for the Solar Crest, right? Sure, people might go, oh, but the barrier is kind of pointless at this stage. You still get the buff up to attack speed and move speed. So if he's able to throw it onto maybe Baboka, who's throwing out impetuses, or he throws it onto his Lifestealer to prevent him getting kited or to get him further into the fight, then it'll be a pretty value item. I don't really see what Xnova buys here to make himself feel good. I think some position 5 players, Magnus is their top lane. We could see A sometimes go for Blink Dagger, but sorry, go on.
They need that kills. Yeah, they do. He's out for a minute, no buyback.
Roshan is responding in 20 seconds, so there's gonna be a 30-second window now. Mag's dead, Roshan's up. So you, in theory, if OG do scout it out, should be a free Roshan due to the fact that you have 30 seconds of time. Xnova just queued up a Dagon for like 0.2 seconds and instantly removed it. For a very brief second. I was like,
no. He's also trying to go down that, oh no, my mid lost his lane support build. He wants to get the big items. But, I mean, we may see, you know, there's still potential he'll queue it up again. Talking about big items, so Monet's managed to get his one done. The Mjolnir is out. But as you say, well, the real sort of timing is getting that BKB now after the Mjolnir and the Satanic. If they can push the game onto that point and he can get that done, then he should be able to tear through at least a couple of supports in these fights with ease.
I would say whoever gets RP'd should be going down, right? Because the assumption is if you're hitting an RP, you're following it up with the Ice Blast, and the lifesteal is in position to right-click. And any hero under that amount of threat should be going down. But of course, Nagasaran has the butterfly now, so 35% evasion built in. Lifesteal is a carry that can buy MKB, but we're already entertaining the fact that he's going towards BKB. And then he has to farm an entire MKB after that as well. We do see Roshan's banner placed in the bot lane. That will be moving into pressure this bot racks. OG might shift to start playing top now, so that you have that split pressure of big creeps in bot lane whilst trying to siege top lane. That is something that we often see teams do, especially with the fact that their illusions can help that bot wave as well. OG, they have a 15,000 gold lead. They know that the fights aren't already won. Like, there is a lot of comeback potential in the high ground defense. You've got pure back, you've got toss backs, you've got so many ways to throw you deeper into the base that I wouldn't be surprised if OG just play this by, like, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. Send the illusions non-stop. Don't put yourself in a vulnerable position.
Ooh. JT is going to try with the grab here. He's caught Tomato straight back into the avalanche combo. Can they burst through him? They have the toss. They do it perfectly. That's the Aegis gone. Very well done if they can get out with their lives intact, and it looks like they can. Monet's able to jump in over towards nothing to say. They step back. They're able to take the Aegis away. And the bottom lane, the ratting is certainly occurring. The Serpent wards are out. They'll have to pop fortification. BZM, he's going to jump back in. He's going to pop the BKB. He wants to continue with the push. Look at the pushback onto the turret that they've caught Monet. Monet's dead. Same for JT. It's over. There's no buybacks for them. GG is called. A beautiful little jump from OG to end the game, as they'll take the game one of this 2-game series.